Asia, a continent of immense potential, is also home to some of the most fragile economies and politically unstable nations. While some countries are thriving, others are on the verge of collapse due to economic turmoil, political chaos, environmental disasters, and social unrest. Just recently, Thailand was struck by a devastating earthquake, highlighting the growing instability in the region. In today's video, we'll uncover 10 Asian countries facing a crisis that could change their future forever. From extreme debt to failing economies, you won't believe which country is at the biggest risk. Make sure to watch till the end. Number 10. Nepal. Nepal is a nation rich in culture and natural beauty, but beneath the surface, it's struggling with a fragile economy and a worsening unemployment crisis. With limited industrial growth, many young Nepalese are forced to migrate abroad for work, leaving the country dependent on remittances. Meanwhile, inflation is making life harder for locals, and political instability is delaying crucial reforms. Infrastructure development is slow, and Nepal remains vulnerable to natural disasters like earthquakes and landslides, further impacting its economic stability. Can Nepal find a way to strengthen its economy, or will it continue losing its workforce to foreign nations? Number 9. Pakistan. Pakistan is facing one of its worst economic crises in history. Foreign debt is skyrocketing. The Pakistani rupee has lost significant value, and inflation is out of control. Power outages, fuel shortages, and an unstable political climate have made life miserable for ordinary citizens. Even though the government has sought IMF bailouts, the economic instability persists. Corruption and mismanagement are deep-rooted, and mass protests are becoming more frequent as people struggle to afford basic necessities. If Pakistan doesn't implement serious economic reforms, could we see the nation face an even bigger collapse? Number 8. Myanmar. Since the military coup in 2021, Myanmar has been in a state of political and economic turmoil. The coup led to mass protests, violence, and international sanctions that severely impacted the economy. Foreign businesses pulled out, unemployment skyrocketed, and thousands of citizens were displaced due to ongoing conflicts. The country is now struggling to maintain stability, and with global powers withdrawing their support, Myanmar's future looks uncertain. Will Myanmar ever recover from this prolonged crisis, or is it heading towards complete isolation? Number 7. Lebanon. Lebanon's financial collapse is one of the worst in modern history. The banking system has frozen people's savings. The local currency has lost over 90% of its value, and inflation has made even basic goods unaffordable. Power shortages and a failing government have led to mass protests and growing frustration among citizens. Many educated Lebanese professionals are leaving the country in search of better opportunities, further weakening the economy. With no clear plan for recovery, can Lebanon ever regain stability, or is its downfall inevitable? Number 6. Afghanistan. Afghanistan's situation has worsened since the Taliban took control in 2021. The nation has been cut off from much-needed international aid, and economic activity has come to a near standstill. Millions are on the brink of famine, with severe food shortages and skyrocketing prices making survival difficult. Women have been removed from the workforce, and education has taken a backseat, setting the country back by decades. With sanctions and restrictions in place, Afghanistan is facing one of its darkest periods. Can it ever recover from this humanitarian crisis, or will it remain trapped in turmoil? Number 5. North Korea. North Korea's isolationist policies have left it facing extreme poverty, food shortages, and economic collapse. International sanctions have severely limited trade, and reports suggest that malnutrition is widespread. The government's strict control over resources has only made things worse for ordinary citizens. Meanwhile, the leadership continues to invest heavily in its military, diverting essential funds away from food and infrastructure. If the situation doesn't improve, could we see mass unrest in North Korea, or will the regime maintain its iron grip on power? Number 4. Laos. Laos is drowning in debt, particularly to China. The country's economic crisis is deepening as inflation rises and its currency weakens. Many projects, including major infrastructure developments, have been financed by massive loans, but now, Laos is struggling to repay them. The government is banking on tourism to revive the economy, but with external debt piling up, the road to recovery is uncertain. Can Laos escape this financial trap, or will it remain stuck in a cycle of debt and instability? Number 3, Yemen. Yemen has been in a state of war for years, leading to the destruction of infrastructure, healthcare, and businesses. Millions are suffering from malnutrition and lack of medical care, and foreign aid is barely keeping the nation afloat. The country remains divided between different factions, making it nearly impossible to establish stability. The humanitarian crisis is among the worst in the world, with little hope of improvement. With ongoing violence and economic collapse, how long can Yemen survive in these conditions? Number 2, Bangladesh. Bangladesh was once a rising economy, but recent struggles have put its growth at risk. The garment industry, which drives the country's exports, is facing tough global competition. Job losses are increasing, and rapid urbanization is putting immense pressure on resources. Additionally, climate change is posing a severe threat, with rising sea levels and devastating floods destroying homes and farmlands. While the government is pushing for reforms, can Bangladesh sustain its progress, or is it heading towards economic distress? Number 1, Maldives. The Maldives faces an existential crisis, not just economically, but physically. Climate change is threatening to submerge this island nation due to rising sea levels. The economy is heavily dependent on tourism, but environmental destruction is making the future uncertain. Coral reefs are dying, leading to loss of marine biodiversity, and extreme weather events are becoming more frequent. If global action isn't taken soon, the Maldives could be one of the first countries to disappear. Will the world step in to save this paradise, or is time running out? These 10 countries are facing serious challenges, but does that mean collapse is inevitable? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on global events. Thanks for watching.